What happens when a senator's wife gets caught drunk driving and, in the middle of her court hearing, pulls out her cell phone and calls her husband for help? This 45-year-old woman is about to learn that some phone calls cannot be made, some positions do not grant immunity, and some husbands choose integrity over protection. But what makes this case truly unforgettable is not just the drunk driving. It is what she hit, who she left injured, and what her husband said when Judge Frank Caprio put him on speakerphone in front of the entire courtroom. It is a Wednesday afternoon in Providence Municipal Court. Judge Frank Caprio reviews a case that has already generated intense public interest. Diana Crawford, age 45, wife of Rhode Island State Senator Michael Crawford, stands charged with driving under the influence causing property damage, leaving the scene of an accident, and failure to render aid. The incident occurred 9 days earlier at 9:47 p.m. in a Providence shopping center parking lot. Security camera footage tells the story clearly and devastatingly. Diana Crawford was driving her Mercedes SUV through the lot when she struck a parked 2015 Honda Accord, causing significant damage to the vehicle's rear quarter panel, bumper, and trunk. The impact was strong enough to trigger the Honda's alarm and deploy its rear collision sensors. The Honda belonged to Robert Martinez, a 67-year-old Vietnam War veteran who was inside a nearby pharmacy picking up medication for his wife, who suffers from multiple sclerosis and has limited mobility. Security footage shows Diana exiting her Mercedes, walking unsteadily to inspect the damage, then returning to her vehicle and driving away without leaving any information. Without calling the police, and without checking if anyone had been hurt, a witness recorded her license plate number. Police tracked Diana to her residence 40 minutes later. Her blood alcohol content, measured at 10:32 p.m., was 14, nearly twice the legal limit. Based on the timeline, investigators estimate her BSE at the time of the collision may have been 0.16 or higher. When officers arrived at her home to arrest her, Diana's first words were, "Do you know who my husband is?" Her husband is State Senator Michael Crawford, currently serving his third term and widely respected for his work on criminal justice, reform, and bipartisan cooperation. 9 days later, Diana enters Judge Caprio's courtroom wearing an expensive outfit and an expression suggesting she believes this is all a misunderstanding that will soon be resolved. Diana Crawford walks beside her attorney, Thomas Whitmore, a lawyer from one of Providence's most politically connected law firms. He carries himself with the confidence of someone accustomed to watching money and influence erase consequences. Judge Caprio observes Diana carefully. She does not walk like someone facing serious criminal charges. She walks like someone attending a charity luncheon. The bailiff calls the case. Judge Caprio reads the charges aloud, ensuring every word enters the public record. Driving under the influence causing property damage, leaving the scene of an accident, failure to render aid. Mr. Whitmore immediately requests a sidebar, citing his client's position in the community. Judge Caprio responds firmly, "Mr. Whitmore, this is a public courtroom. If your client's conduct cannot withstand public scrutiny, that is a problem with the conduct, not the courtroom." The attorney pivots, emphasizing Diana's lack of prior offenses and her family's civic involvement. Judge Caprio interrupts. "Your client's husband's legislative work is not evidence in this case. We are here to discuss what she did, not who she married." Judge Caprio addresses Diana directly, asking whether she understands the charges. She nods and claims there has been exaggeration. The judge corrects her sharply, explaining that facts, not opinions, define the case. Diana argues that the damage was minor, and that she believed the parking lot was private property. Judge Caprio explains that hit-and-run laws apply regardless of location. He orders the security footage played. The courtroom watches as the video shows Diana striking the Honda, inspecting the damage for nearly 30 seconds, then driving away. The footage leaves no room for interpretation. Judge Caprio reviews Robert Martinez's victim impact statement, describing financial hardship, insurance deductibles, and his wife's medical needs. He asks whether Diana attempted to contact Mr. Martinez. Her attorney explains that legal advice discouraged contact. "Legal strategy does not excuse moral obligation," Judge Caprio replies. Officer Jennifer Santos testifies regarding Diana's arrest. She describes the smell of alcohol, Diana's resistance to testing, and her dismissive attitude. When asked about Diana's demeanor, Officer Santos states that Diana repeatedly referenced her husband's position and questioned why police were wasting time on her. Judge Caprio orders the body camera audio played. Diana's slurred voice fills the courtroom. "Do you know who my husband is?" "He's a state senator. This will be taken care of." The silence afterward is overwhelming. Judge Caprio addresses Diana directly, stating that her words reveal an expectation that political power could erase criminal behavior. Then Diana makes a catastrophic decision. She pulls out her cell phone and begins dialing. Judge Caprio immediately demands to know what she is doing. Diana replies that she is calling her husband so he can explain. Judge Caprio warns her to put the phone away. She hesitates, insisting her husband knows how to handle legal matters. The judge declares her action contempt of court. He orders the bailiff to retrieve her phone. Judge Caprio then makes a decisive move. Mrs. Crawford, you wanted to call your husband. We will do that now. The courtroom holds its breath as Senator Michael Crawford is placed on speakerphone. Judge Caprio explains the situation and invites the senator to speak. The senator apologizes for his wife's behavior and states clearly that she has no right to special treatment. He confirms that he advised her to accept responsibility and face consequences. When asked whether he seeks leniency, Senator Crawford answers firmly, "No, Your Honor, treat her like any other defendant." Senator Crawford continues, stating that his public work advocating accountability means nothing if he seeks private exceptions. He acknowledges Mr. Martinez's service in Vietnam and expresses shame over his wife's actions. Judge Caprio thanks the senator and ends the call. Diana stands stunned, realizing the rescue she expected has turned into public accountability. Judge Caprio reviews the evidence one final time. Video footage, body camera audio, BAC results, and Diana's conduct in court. He then delivers sentencing. For driving under the influence, a $1,000 fine, mandatory alcohol education, and a 1-year license suspension. For leaving the scene, a $500 fine and 80 hours of community service at a veteran support organization. For failure to render aid, a $250 fine. For contempt of court, an additional $500 fine. Total fines amounted to $1,150. Restitution to Robert Martinez includes $4,300 for vehicle repairs and $1,000 for his insurance deductible. Diana must also write formal apology letters approved by the court. Mr. Whitmore objects, calling the sentence excessive. Judge Caprio responds that every consequence directly reflects Diana's choices. As Diana exits, Mr. Martinez thanks Judge Caprio for recognizing his dignity and service. Judge Caprio responds, "You were always somebody." The hearing quickly becomes national news. Senator Crawford's statement supporting accountability earns widespread respect. 2 days later, he announces his separation from Diana, citing integrity and principle. The separation becomes a divorce within 6 months. Diana begins her community service resentful and silent. Over time, listening to veterans' stories transforms her perspective. When she learns that one of the veterans served alongside Robert Martinez, she finally understands the depth of her actions. She completes her service, writes sincere apology letters, and later meets Mr. Martinez to apologize in person. He forgives her but reminds her that equality under the law is what he served to protect. 1 year later, Diana's license is reinstated. Her life has changed permanently. She continues volunteering, having learned that respect is earned, not inherited. She walked into court believing her husband's power would save her. Instead, his integrity ensured she faced justice. That phone call did not rescue her. It changed her forever.